Morning, everyone. Today, my team and I are going to talk about the conflict in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This conflict, I will begin with the introduction and explain how the conflict started. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is a country in Africa that has many valuable natural resources, such as gold, cobalt, and coltan. These minerals are very important in industries around the world because they are used in products like a cell phone. The people of the Congo have suffered from violence, poverty, and insecurity for many years. This conflict is considered one of the biggest humanitarian crises in Africa because millions of civilians have been affected. To understand how the conflict started, we need to look at the history of the country. After the independence of the Congo, the country experienced political instability, economic problems, and weak government institutions. The country was ruled by Mobutu Sese Seko. His government was criticized for corruption and poor economic management. Many regions of the country because unstable and the government slowly lost control of over different territories. One of the most important events that influenced the beginning of the conflict was the Rwanda genocide. During this tragedy, the people were killed because of ethnic violence between Hutus and Tutsis in Rwanda. Many refugees and armed groups crossing into eastern Congo. This situation increased tension in the country because some militants continue operating inside the territory. At the same time, ethnic tension and problems to the political representation. Because of this, the arrival to refugees and armed groups made the situation even more. Countries like Rwanda and Uganda also became involved because they considered some armed groups a threat to their national security. As tension continued and growing violence expanded in the territory, and the official beginning of the conflict is usually connected to the First Congo War and the rebel force and support by Rwanda and Uganda when the government of Mobutu Sese Seko. The rebellion advanced and Mobutu was removed from the power. Next, the rest of my team will continue explain the problem, and more detail includes the consequence and the actors involved and possible solution to the.
Hello, my name is Ivana Rios, and I'm going to talk about the development of the problem. Also, this crisis in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is defined by a profound contradiction, where its immense natural wealth becomes the direct cause of its instability and poverty. Also, this country holds the world's largest reserve of cobalt and coltan, essential elements for global technology like laptops, electric vehicles, and smartphones, and the energy transition. Yet the control of these deposits has sparked violence between government, foreign powers, and over 100 rebel groups such as the M23. And also, this struggle for territory does not seek national development, but really rapid extraction, and is modeling into neighborhood countries that later export these minerals as their own, as like they are the owner of this one, but it's not like that, and fueling a cycle of annihilation weaponry that repercutes in the war, or maybe starts one, like we see. Also, the lack of economic benefit for the citizens, and combined with the system corruption and the state's inability to process raw materials between its borders, has generated social resentment that fuels the conflict with the government, and ultimately turns the citizen soil into a third of looting, where the process of the outside world is built at the cost of the stagnation. When and how it started, the root of this problem lies in a series of historical events. The first one is the Rwanda genocide, that is in 1994, and this is the breaking point when the following genocide in the neighboring Rwanda, nearly 2 million refugees, including militaries, were responsible for the massacres. That this became a national security issue quickly turned into a war business, and the rebel groups to seize the control of the mines and send the minerals back to them. The other two events is the Africa's World War, that is two massive wars broke into involving 9 African countries on citizen soils, and through peace treaties were eventually signed. The conflict never truly ends. the armless official armies, but they left behind armed groups such as the predecessors of the M23. And the second event is the 20th century tech fever. That is a problem that the explosion of demand of smartphones, laptops, and most recently electric vehicles, because the world became desperate for cobalt in the 20s, but now the need is for cobalt. And this turned mines that were previously less significant into the most covered war trophies of the planet. Rebel groups also realized it was easier and more lucrative to control a mine and collect taxes, to sell minerals illegally, than to negotiate with lasting peace.
Hi, I will talk about the conflict in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I will explain the historical factors and economic factors. First, I will talk about the historical factors. A long time ago, Congo was controlled by Belgium and Leopoldo II. During this time, many people suffered violence and hard work. Belgium wanted Congo natural resources like minerals and rubber. After Congo became independent in the 1960s, the country had many political problems. There were coups and dictators and war. The government became weak and many people didn't feel safe. Another important event was the Rwanda genocide in the 1984. After this event, many refugees and armed groups moved to the eastern Congo. This caused more violence and conflict. Because of this, many rebel groups started fighting in this place like North Kivu and South Kivu. Today, violence and insecurity still continue in some parts of the country. Now I will talk about the economic factors. Congo has many valuable natural resources. For example, are gold, diamonds, copper, cobalt, and gold. These many minerals are used in iPhones, batteries, and technology. And many armed groups want control of these resources because they can make money for them, and they use this money to continue fighting. And another problem is poverty. Many people in Congo don't have good jobs and education or healthcare. Because of this, some people enjoy armed groups to survive. Corruption is also a problem. A lot of money for natural resources doesn't help the population. Instead, it helps corruption leaders and armed groups. Also, some foreign countries and companies are interested in Congo minerals. This makes the conflict more difficult. And also, finally, these historical and economic factors are important to understand the conflict in Congo. And this is all for me.
Okay, now its topic is the military factors. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, there are many armed groups. One important rebel group is M23. This group fights against the National Army called FARC-TC. The conflict happens mainly in the eastern part of the country. Many groups want control of important minerals like gold and the coltan. Another problem is that the Congolese army has weak equipment and organization. Because of this, it is difficult to spot the violence. International organizations like MONUSCO also try to help the country, but the conflict continues. Okay, now we will talk about the social factors. The conflict has caused a humanitarian crisis. Millions of people have left their homes because of violence and insecurity. Many people suffer from hunger and poverty. They also have limited access to school, hospitals, and clean water. Women and children are the most affected by the conflict. There are also human rights violations and forced recurrence of children. Another problem is ethnic conflict between communities. This creates more violence and instability.
And then we have the main actors. First, we have the people who extract the minerals. These small miners do the hardest work because they usually earn very little money, and this work they have dangerous conditions. Then we have some armed groups that control mining areas, and they use these minerals to finance the violence. Next, we have other important group. This group transport and process the minerals. Obviously, all groups was important because they did important actions in all these conflict. The smelters and refineries check if these minerals are conflict free before that they selling at the other countries. And there are also intermediary countries that helps move the minerals between the countries or between the places. Obviously, like all, sometimes they have the illegal minerals, and these minerals can enter in the market through the places or through the countries. And finally, we have the technology and car complements. These complements they use in the companies, and they use these minerals in their products, so they act responsibly. Obviously, these minerals
is too important in all this list because it's the base of the all conflict and it's the base of the all those groups. Obviously, the organizations like the UNA also create rules to stop all these minerals from supporting violence. Obviously, these minerals are important in all other things, in all other places or like the companies, and not supporting the violence.
Now, talking about the tools and strategies used in this conflict, in the military side, the first strategy and the most important is the proxy groups like the M23 and the Wasalendo. These second ones, the Wasalendo, are allied one-on-one with the Congolese army, so that and we're talking about an illegal access to non-state actors, so that could be risk as well. And in the second part, the conflict has developed to a very modern technological warfare, like the drones and airstrikes that come from China and Turkey, so that is as well an illegal trade between minerals, and that will be the third one. In an talking economically, this illegal trade of minerals, mainly cobalt, coltan, and gold, where they give preferential access to these people who arm their groups or something like that. So that is as well a corruption network that, of course, doesn't give the sovereignty to the territory. And well, finally, in the security, in the international help or strategies are the main that the U.S. offer, the minerals for security bargain, but this one, it's not very well developed. It just receives mineral aid and as well as sanctions for these illegal traders, but they don't know who they are, so it's difficult to make this bargain work well.